I am getting old and my eyesight is starting to go because I bought a bunch of stuff and I thought that this jacket was made of corduroy. Come to find out, it's not. It's a petrified denim, so Cat can't make fun of me. This is not corduroy. This is like petrified denim, son. So we about to had an interview with Mia Ellis. We about to have that interview. I'm gonna talk to her about her career, young fighter from right here in the United States. I read that she's from out of the DMV. Y'all know that part of the country, the DMV. So we just gonna wait. Feel me? We got a lot of things. I'm gonna try to get like 2 videos out after this interview is done. I'll try to get 2 episodes out. I already got 1 done. I just got to do the other. What's rocking in Bloom? What's rocking Base? The Kid Audi was good. Dreamland was good. Presto was good. ABS was good. So yeah, man. Try to pick up the pace. And you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of questions, a lot of things I want to talk about. Cat, you can't make fun of me. This ain't corduroy. I thought it was corduroy because my eyesight is starting to go. You know what I mean? This is petrified denim. Was goody in Bloom? Was goody Ja? And yeah, man. Yes, I caught you. I dig it. Was goody, Nick? Was goody? And we're just gonna wait. And a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on. I think one thing that really has my attention is that Jermall Charlo. Y'all seen what Jermall Charlo said? That's wild, bro. That he said it just like that. They're like, nah, man, he ain't cheat. He just punched the shit out of him. Oh man, that's cold, man. Cold-blooded. Hergovic versus Usyk. We need it. I was good at UK Rob. The DMV, I believe, I'm not sure. The DMV is the I'm sure is the M is for Maryland, the V is for Virginia, and I'm not sure, but I think the D is for the District of Columbia. I'm not sure. I don't know what the D is for, but I know the M and the V is for Maryland and Virginia. You know what I'm saying? I had to get flying flashy. I had to add to the wardrobe. This is becoming a tradition. Every time I got an interview lined up, I gotta go buy something. It's because I get nervous, though. I'm talking to people I never spoke to before. So, you know what I mean? I get nervous. I'm like, shit, I gotta go shopping. Appreciate that, Mark. Brief thoughts on Don King. They're fighting for peace, Mark. They're fighting for world peace. Yo, when I seen that poster and I seen the little part that said Don King's fight for world peace, I'm like, Trevor Bryan and Manuel Shaw fighting for world peace? That's what this is about? I thought this was about a WBA regular title. It's for world peace, y'all. Buy the pay-per-view. Because that's a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? That bugged me out. I'm bugged out. Oh, man. But yeah, just some things I'm working on. I want to get Maiva Hamadouche on here. My good friend Marie, I will contact her to assist me if she is available because I really want to get Maiva Hamadouche on here. I love Maiva. I've loved Maiva for years. I'm going to love her for more years. And I'm going to try to get her. The Michaela Mayer interview continues to be elusive, but you guys keep asking for it, so I'll keep trying. I want to get LM Mechalet on here because I want to hear it from her what happened with that interim situation. I've heard different things, but I would like to hear it from her what happened with that. ABC was good. Maiva can't, but I got a translator. Conlon Cuss. Oh, Conlon. Oh, God. Bro, look. When I wrote that, right, I fell asleep. Like, I wrote it, and then I fell asleep. I wake up, and I see a blue check. I'm like, blue check? It said Mick Conlon. It's like, Mick Conlon. Fuck is Mick Conlon talking to me for? And it said, what the fuck do you know? I was like, oh shit, it's Mick Conlon, yo. That made my day. That made my day. Mick Conlon cursing me out made my day. I like Mick. I mean, I don't got nothing against Mick. I just feel like Stephen will win the fight. That's all. I don't got nothing against Mick. God bless him and his family. I hope that his leg is all healed up because he was supposed to have the Isaac Dogbay fight. I was looking forward to that fight. I thought that was a great fight, but he got hurt. He had to pull out of that fight. He wants to fight Stephen Fulton now. And, you know, I like Fulton for the fight. Yeah, I've been trying to get that Mikalela interview for years, man. Appreciate that, Ronald Finkley. I've been trying to get Mikalela on here for years. People ask me, you know, like, I don't want to badger her. I don't want to bother her. I don't want to make it seem like, yo, why this Ring IQ person keep trying to get an interview with me? I ain't trying to be like that, but, yo, people keep asking me. So I'm going to keep trying. As long as they keep asking me, okay, well, I'm going to keep trying. But it ain't easy out here, man. No, it's hard out here for a pimp. They trying to get the money for the rent. I'll keep trying, though. But yeah, man, Mick Conlon, that was great. That was great. I woke up, I seen that blue check. I'm like, blue check? Who is hitting me up that has a blue check? Like Mick Conlon. Like, Mick was mad at me, dog. Like, don't get mad at me, dog. I still want the best for you. God bless you and your family. I just, I think Stephen wins the fight. That's all. That's it. Doesn't mean you're a bad fighter. We know you're not a bad fighter. You don't get that far if you're a bad fighter. Yeah, I want to get Lou DiBello on here. I want to get Lou on here. I want to talk to him about his insights and his experiences on the other side of the business and what he thinks needs to happen in order to enhance the sport of women's boxing, because he knows this industry in a way that me and you don't. We know it from the consumer end of things and what might help that process along. He knows another side of it, its infrastructure, and perhaps we can, brainstorm and see if we can't come up with something. I heard Porter could be facing Lopez. Porter versus. You know what the thing is? If he fights Josecito Lopez, do you think he's gonna get $2, $3, $4 million to fight Josecito Lopez? No. So you cool to fight for $1 million so long as it's not Terrence Crawford. But I'm supposed to get mad at Bob, right? I'm supposed to get. All right. He never made a post on Instagram, and Loma blocked you. Why did Loma block you? Lomachenko? Chilling, bro. I was goody. You know what I'm saying? Metal Box was good. Actual Facts was good. And we're just going to wait for Mia to come on. She's setting up right now. I've already sent them the link. Looking forward to talking to Mia because, like I said a week ago, it was either a week ago or 2 weeks ago, a concentrated effort has to go into giving exposure to the American prospects. The girls in the UK are doing very well. Many talented fighters across the Atlantic Ocean. There are talented fighters here, but unfortunately, they don't get that exposure. The networks here, I mean, it's not a great situation. So guys like me can do what we can to introduce these fighters to our respective audiences, however big or small, to acquaint them so that these fighters can gain some momentum, gain a little bit of exposure between fights. Mia Ellis has a professional record of 1-0. She does have a fight coming up. She's in the early phases of her career. She's in the prospect stage. She shows promise. I believe she has fought on a PBC card. She has fought on one of their cards before her first professional match, her professional debut. And I look forward to just talking to her, picking her brain, and seeing what she's like. Charlo Suliecki, and this is what I'm talking about. Charlo Suliecki, come on, why can't they just make the Andrade fight, man? I don't know, but he had to search me directly to do it. He blocked you, dog? Yeah, we'll see Bivol versus Better Bivol. I believe we will. I believe we will. I believe we'll see that fight. Damn, people get blocked for nothing. Wow, I'm surprised, man. What, he blocked you recently? All right, here's Mia. Everybody say hello to Mia Ellis. I was good. My name is Julius, Ring IQ Boxing. Everyone, this is Mia Ellis. The gentleman seated next to you, what's his name?
It's staticky.
Okay. So basically, the reason I wanted to have you come on is to introduce yourself to everybody that subscribed to this channel, because I noticed the American prospects don't really get a lot of exposure. They don't really get talked about too much. You've got a professional record of 1-0. Just let everybody know how it is you got started on this path into boxing.
I'm sorry, could you repeat yourself? It just came in and out.
All right, let me take myself out and I'll put myself back in to fix the sound.
It's clear now.
It's good now? All right. I just want you to let everybody know, and briefly,
Time out.
how is it
Give
that
it 2
you
more
came in?
seconds to click back in.
Hold up.
You can hear me?
It had just cleared up before you left and came back. Hold up.
All right, all right. Can you hear me now, though?
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
All right, now I just want you to let everybody know, how is it you got started on the path to becoming a professional boxer? How did that all come into play?
How you got started?
You said, how did I get started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so with my father being a coach, I was just brought up around the sport. I was with him 24/7. So when he went to the gym, I went to the gym, and the sport, I just got adapted to the sport with me being around it so much.
All right, and your division, the division you campaign in is what, 130 pounds, correct?
What you say? I'm sorry.
Let me fix the sound first before anything.
There you go. I can hear you.
It's good?
Yeah.
It's good now.
All right. So your division is 130 pounds, right? That's super featherweight, right?
Yes.
Are there any names in that division that you got your eye on, like any one of the champions? Because it's 4 of them. You know, it's 4 different champions at super featherweight. Is there anyone in particular of them that you got your eye on that you would like to fight?
I would like to fight Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor. All right. Yeah, because I saw your last fight, which was your pro debut. It was just above super featherweight. It was like, I think, 131 pounds. It was lightweight.
Yes.
All right. So moving forward, your next fight, is that going to be at super featherweight or lightweight?
It's going to be at lightweight.
No, we're at 130 today. Lightweight is 130.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be at 130.
We weigh 130 pounds right now.
All right, cool. So moving forward, who are some fighters that you looked up to that influenced you as you was, coming up as a youngster? Is there any fighters that you any styles that you try to emulate, or any favorite fighters that you might have?
Well, when I was born, I wasn't that many female fighters like Layla Ali. That wasn't really in my prime. Like, her career was just ending, so I didn't get to see too much of her. But now it's a few that I like to watch. You got Michaela Mayers, you got Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor. So now it's a few that I can, really watch. And I guess you could say look up to.
Okay, and what about male fighters? Just in general, what fighters, regardless of gender, do you like to watch? Like, do you like to watch, I don't know, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua? Like, who are your guys and girls that you like to watch?
I like to watch Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, of course, Gervonta Davis. All those, Floyd.
All right. So who are Mia Ellis's top 5 pound for pound male fighters?
Terrence Crawford.
Of course.
Is Earl Spence. Who else could I say? Deontay Wilder. And who could I say last? For the fans, I would say Ryan Garcia, because he just that was his
Yeah, he got media presence. Like he know how to play the game. He knows how to market himself. I'll say on social media. All
Right.
right, I gotta pick your brain. You and your father's. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Who do y'all think wins that fight?
I got Earl.
I like both. They friends. I'm friends with both of them, so I'm in the audience neutral man.
All right. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. Gun to your head. You gotta pick one.
You
You
gotta
gotta
pick.
put your money on one. Who you gonna bet on?
I'm gonna take the bullet.
I like that. Well, all right. We got this fight coming up with who is it? Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Mia, who do you think wins the fight? And to your father, what's your name, sir?
Kenny
Kenny.
Ellis.
First, I want to go Mia. Who do you think wins that fight? And then Kenny, you can answer the question after Mia goes.
I think Anthony might come out with the win. Might pick him apart.
Who was the two?
And
Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight fight that's coming up.
Tyson Fury.
All right, all right. In your own words, what do you feel Tyson Fury possesses to win that fight that Anthony Joshua ain't got?
His athleticism, heart. He just got
yeah.
the ability, man, to outbox him.
I dig it. I dig it. So we don't got to bring a gun in for that one. I don't got to put the gun in. I dig it. I dig it. All right. Teofimo Lopez Vasyl Lomachenko. Did you guys see that fight?
I watched it.
What did you guys think about that fight? What was your interpretation of it, Mia?
Teofimo, he got the overall rounds, on top definitely.
What did you think about the stuff that was being said after that about, oh, it was the shoulder, there was an injury, he had like a thing?
You know what you're getting yourself. If that's true, why would you go in a championship fight with an injury like that?
And he's injury in previous fights he complained about it. So why complain about it now?
True.
He did good towards the end of the fight, the last 4 rounds. If we were still 15 rounds, he would have won the fight. But we only do 12,
Yeah, because a lot of people after the fight, a lot of people was wondering, normally he come out throwing a lot of punches. That's what he normally do. But for some reason, for that particular fight, a lot of people noticed, well, he came out first 5 rounds and he didn't do anything. He's just moving around the ring. He was slipping shots, rolling shots, but he wasn't throwing. So it was like, well, is something wrong with him? But to Mia's point, it's a championship fight. If your shoulder's injured that bad, why did you decide to fight?
Exactly. I'm doing punches because them earlier rounds, you fresh, and he had that young dog in front of him that can punch. You know what I mean? In previous fights, he caught, but then he got caught by older guys, that wasn't quite as sharp as the female. Right. So he couldn't afford to be caught by a young dog because he would have finished him, in the earlier rounds. So he had to be cautious.
Now I gotta pick y'all brain again. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Mia. What happens?
I got Teofimo.
You got Teofimo. All right. Kenny, same question.
Man, I like them both. I call it a draw.
All right. I'm gonna switch it up. Now I know I shouldn't even ask y'all, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, who wins the fight? I knew. That's what I was gonna say. I wasn't gonna ask, but I dig it.
Not even because of that's my stablemate, but I know for sure it's not even gonna be a close fight. In my eyes, I wouldn't even think it's gonna be a close fight.
All right. Now, I want to take it over to Ryan, who we just talked about. What do you think? How did you guys interpret that Luke Campbell fight? Do you think he looked good, looked bad? What was your interpretation, Mia?
He looked pretty good, man. He just got caught with a
lucky shot
by a guy that can't really punch.
But that's I want to elaborate on that. A lot of people say, well, Luke can't punch. So what's your interpretation of him being dropped by a dude that can't punch? Because a lot of people looked at that fight, they saw it different ways. Some people think he looked good, that he went through adversity, but it's good that happened. Some people look at it as bad.
Right. He, like a champion, you're supposed to get up and get past adversity, but he got caught by a guy that can't punch. If it was a guy that could punch and that would have jumped right on him after he got him hurt, it would have been a different story. You know,
Mia, what did you think about it?
I think if he got dropped by a guy that can't punch, then imagine what's gonna happen to him. He get caught by Javante Davis. Get up. He ain't gonna get up.
All right. Beyond that, let's take it away from Javante. Let's take it over to Ryan and Devin. Who do you like for the fight?
Devin.
I understand. All right. That being said, let's move away from the trivia. Matter of fact, I got one question. I got to ask every female fighter that I have on here about this. What is your stance on the 3-minute round? As a professional female fighter, would you prefer to have that extra minute, or would you prefer to have it 2 minutes for 12 rounds? Which one of those two would you prefer?
I prefer the extra minute because we'll have a chance to, get more off within that one round. But the 2 minutes for 12, to me is the same thing. But it would be nice if we could get 12 3-minute rounds. Why can't we just make it the same as the males?
Well, the story is, at least I've read, why is it that they're doing it this way? Why have they been doing it this way? And my understanding is the WBC, I believe they published a medical report or something like that. They said that women are more prone to getting a concussion, which I don't necessarily buy into the report, you know what I mean? Because I know Marlon Esparza fought in a fight for 3-minute rounds. So it's not like it hasn't happened before. Sparsely, there have been other fighters that fought for 3 minutes and nothing happened. You know what I mean? A knockout is a knockout. A knockout can happen in a 2-minute round. It can happen in a 3-minute round, the same. So it's like, but I ask a lot of people about this because this particular issue also pertains to the way that women get paid. Some people feel that if you're going to have that extra minute, then there should be more bread because essentially it's extra work. Like, how you going to have that extra minute, but the bread is still
the same?
Yeah, that if you're going to add that minute, all right, you're going to add some bread for that minute? Because, I mean, what do you think about that? What's your stance on that?
That's also true. I didn't even think about that. If they add the extra, I would want, extra money. I'm glad somebody paid my attention because I didn't even think about, if you really love a sport, it's not always about the money, but that does make sense to pay us more if you want to add an extra minute.
Now, the next question I want to ask is in reference to, how soon do you expect to be fighting for a world title or challenging for one? Like, next 4 fights, 5 fights? When do you expect to fight for a title?
Say the next 5 fights.
Next 5 fights. And where can we see your very next fight? Because I looked up, when you're going to be fighting next on BoxRec. I think it's a girl called Oglesby. That's coming up real soon. Where can the fans watch that fight?
You could live stream it on TV Sports app.
All right. That being said, I got more trivia questions. I got to do this. This is my way of acquainting the fans with the fighters. Mike Tyson, Cassius Clay. All right, Cassius Clay. Not Muhammad Ali, not after the exile, but before that, when he still had his feet. Who wins that fight?
Me or Mia?
All right, Mia, you first.
I would say Mike Tyson.
Why? Why do you feel he would? Why do you feel he would win that against Cassius?
If it's no rules like they had with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, where he couldn't stop Roy Jones, I heard that was one of the rules. He couldn't stop him. I just think he would come up on top because he just keep coming. I think he would have been able to stop Roy Jones if they didn't have that rule. He had to hold back some.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he, can use all his power and go for whatever he want to go for, I think he could just take him out.
All right, Kenny, Cassius Clay, Mike Tyson. Who wins that fight in the time machine?
I'm going to have to go with Cassius Clay. He was a far better boxer than Buster Douglas. But if the Joe Frazier come out and Mike Tyson, it could go either way.
Listen, man, why
Right
we
or
gotta
wrong?
bring up Buster Douglas, man? We
Huh?
don't gotta do that. Why you had to bring up Buster Douglas,
The
man?
Douglas boxed. He boxed Tyson, and he boxed Tyson, and he won. Ali was a better boxer, right?
All right, all right, all right. Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, Mia. Who wins that fight?
I would say Joe Frazier.
Really?
Joe Frazier.
I would go Tyson with that one. I would go Mike Tyson with that one.
Different eras, different opponents. I'll have to go with Joe Frazier too, man.
I keep thinking about that Foreman fight. You seen what Foreman did to him, right? 2 rounds.
How big Foreman was. You know, Tyson never stood forehead to forehead with another short guy, you know, that bring more pressure than him and fought better opposition than him. You know, Tyson opponents were cab drivers when he first came out. Joe Frazier earned his. You understand what I'm saying?
No, that's true. I mean, look at who Joe had to win the title from. You know what I mean? And just look, I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like Mike fought them guys because he was such a young guy. Like, he was like 20 when he won the title. That means when he was fighting them guys, he was like 19, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of guys, they were running before the bell even rang for Tyson to come out. They were running. You understand?
That's true. That's true. So next question I got is what fight that's set to go down, the ones that's already made, what fight are you guys looking forward to the most that's already made? You know, because there's any variety of fights out there that's getting talked about, but a lot of them fights ain't made. What fight are you looking forward to the most, Mia?
Now I'm looking forward to the Ryan Garcia versus Pacquiao.
Really? Really?
I hear that's going to be an exhibition, though.
That's what I heard.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I think he just want to practice with a southpaw before he decided to fight Tank, you know?
Yeah, because Luke Campbell, he was a southpaw. Manny is a southpaw. So I'm like, I see what he doing. Like, I kind of see what he doing.
It's not going to work because, you know, Tank will something different. It's more than boxing with Tank. Tank coming to hurt you.
Well, I must say that Luke, even though he's southpaw, he can't really get you ready for Tank because Luke is built different. He's a taller kid. He's longer. It's a different fight. Manny, a little better because he still got a little bit of speed in them hands. He's a shorter guy. He's only about 5'6", 5'5", something like that. It's better preparation, but still, it's an exhibition. It ain't for real.
You're not gonna let you know.
All right, so Kenny, what fight are you looking forward to the most that's already made?
The Fury and Josh.
All right. I want to ask you about this. This is a burning topic among the fight fans. Jermall Charlo, Demetrius Andrade. Who wins that fight?
I say Charlo.
Oh man, I like friends with Demetrius. I like them both, man.
I go Andrade for the fight. If I got to put money down, I'll go Andrade for the fight.
I think Charlo got better skill, but Andre, he awkward and strong, man. Anything can happen.
Southpaw.
And anything can happen, man.
All right, so we ain't gonna get a decisive answer on that one.
I might have taken another bullet.
All right. Let me think. What else? What else can we touch on? I mean, I do have a question. Why do you think it is that in the American boxing scene, women's boxing is not as accepted as it is in Europe? In Europe, it's common. You know, girls that play sports and fight in fights, they get to make their money off of it. Whereas here in America, it's like there's a divide. Why do you think that is?
I think it's the promoters, man. If the women get even and the promoters have, you know, you have to pay fees, and you got 2 champions, and that's more money. I'm almost wondering if they can't afford it. I'm thinking they can't afford 2 champions.
I mean, I feel the promoters is one thing. I agree with your point on that more promoters need to sign female fighters. But I also feel that the reason the promoters don't is because the networks don't want to see it. If the network put money into it and was like, yo, we want to have a stable of girls, we need you to get a stable of female fighters, and we'll flip the bill. The money's there, and then you can start making the fights, because that's the difference that I see.
I'm not just saying it because my daughter's a fighter. Women throw more punches, man.
They do.
They get up for each other more than the guys. Ain't no BS in the ring. You know what I mean? So I think women boxing is more exciting. They throw way more punches than the men.
That's the same thing.
Because my daughter's a boxer, but I sit back and watch it, man. I'm like, wow.
Nah, not for nothing. You telling the truth, because that's the same thing that made me gravitate towards it. That I noticed that the work rate for the girls, they get out there quicker, they start throwing punches quicker, and they go toe to toe more. Whereas with the guys, you get a lot of guys, they'll circle each other for 2-3 rounds before anybody decide to do anything.
You can look at any Clarissa Shields fight tonight and watch how fast she gets started, man. She come out blazing. And
they get out there quick. They get out there quick. That being said, what do you think it is about this country that it's not more widely accepted as opposed to the way it is in Europe? In Europe, they get them have their fights and have main events and get their money. Whereas here in America, it's an issue. It's like they don't want to accept it. Why do you think that is?
I think because they know women. I think the promoter is that the women will learn the business side, which they are doing, and it's a threat. You know, a lot of fighters don't know the business side, so they fall for anything. And over here, American fighters learn the business side. They're not going for yes, they used to go for. You know.
Agreed. So it might be a little bit of oppression in there. I mean, that's not the first time I heard that too. I had another fighter, another prospect, say last week or the week before, Melissa Odessa. She fights out of New York, and she was saying the same thing, that the promoters, it's really the promoters. They got to sign girls. If you don't sign girls, how are they going to get exposure?
Right.
So that's familiar. That's very familiar. That being said, I think we covered all the bases. I think we did. Your next fight is going to be at super featherweight, correct?
Yes.
And can you give us a fight date?
January 30th, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, Myrtle. All right. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, end of this month. So, Mia Ellis, it was a pleasure talking to you. Kenny, it's a pleasure talking to y'all. Y'all stay safe because we still in the middle of this pandemic.
For sure.
At some point, I want to have you back on when you're a little further along in your career. And Kenny, you're gonna have to make some decisions. You're gonna have to stop.
I work on it.
Because these burning questions, people want to know. You gotta make some decisions. Kenny, good talking to you. Mia, good talking to you too. Best wishes. Bless up. All right?
Likewise.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right. That was Mia Ellis. Look out for Mia. I want to talk about some other things that are going on also. Ryan Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, man, that almost slipped my mind. Everybody's calling it an exhibition match. If it's an exhibition match, I'm like, bro, if it's an exhibition match, if that's what they're going to do, like, all right, it's an exhibition match. All right, that's a sparring session. That's a sparring session. You did all that to tell everybody that you're going to have a sparring session with Manny Pacquiao? Thank you kindly, MMA champ. Thank you kindly, Barry Rhythms. Willness, appreciate that. But yeah, man, who makes all this grandstanding for what is an exhibition match? You know what I mean? Like, this is how you know that all of that Jake Paul type of stuff is getting a little bit out of control, because Ryan Garcia is a professional licensed fighter. Manny Pacquiao is a professional licensed fighter and a world champion, and all of this is going on because of an exhibition match. You just fought in a title eliminator for Devin Haney's title. You just fought in a title eliminator. And you don't want to fight for the title. You want to fight Manny in an exhibition match. Something's not right. I smell Oscar behind this. I mean, look, I said it before they announced that. I was like, yo, Ryan is not going to fight Devin. And he's not going to fight Javante. I don't know what he's going to do, but if I don't know nothing else, he's not going to fight either of them yet, because there's network issues. There's promotional issues. It doesn't make sense that he would go into that just like that. Things don't happen that way in boxing, unfortunately. Fight hype sync. Yeah, I heard about the Jake. Like, yo, dog, I don't even want to talk about Jake Paul, dog. That dude don't deserve no air. Like, you fighting basketball. Like, I ain't mad at him if he fighting like people that's like himself, that you fighting like YouTubers and people like that, because that's all right. If you want to fight somebody and make some money, that's fine. But it's getting to the point where, like, all right, now you have a former MMA fighter that is a wrestler Why are you fighting a wrestler, bro? If you want to fight somebody that can fight. You fighting a wrestler in a boxing ring. It's a circus, bro. It's a circus, man. Big Charlo said Wilder. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know. I heard Ticket TV betrayed. What? What's going on I don't know, man. See, this is the thing. I keep my head down and I do the work. Feel me? Like I just focus on what I'm doing. So all this stuff that be happening on the internet, I don't know nothing about it sometimes. I kind of wanted to see Garcia get the. I mean, it's the thing is all the grandstanding, all of that, just to tell people that it's not a real fight. Just to tell people, oh, it's an exhibition match. It's not like a for real fight. So you don't have to make a big deal out of it then if it's not a real fight. I appreciate that, Dennis. That guy, it's an exhibition. It doesn't really count towards your legacy, just the payday. I agree. And like I said, if you wanted to make an event out of it, it's not even that there's something wrong with staging an exhibition match. No, it's nothing wrong with that. But for you to make such a big deal out of it is the problem. Like you sizing everybody up, everybody getting hype, and it's not even a for real fight. You know, Mike and Roy, that's different because they retired. They already did everything they had to do. So for them to have an exhibition, well, that's understandable. They already did what they had to do. But these are two active fighters. Ryan Garcia is an active fighter. You ain't retired. Manny Pacquiao, you ain't retired, and you got a belt right now. And you have a belt right now. So for y'all to be doing this, it's like, y'all, like, come on. Manny, like, come on, man. Like, you didn't fight the whole year of 2020. The whole year. The WBA's letting them get away with murder the way we know, the way they always do. Garcia Pac's second option after Conor got iced, but I think he's getting more money against Spence and even Crawford. Possibly, man. I just saw the news earlier. Pacquiao just said Ryan is like a son to him. Pacquiao is counting this week. He said he wants either Spence or Crawford. Bro, we'll see, because Manny, like the other thing, and I'm not knocking Manny. I understand that Manny paid his dues and all of that different stuff, but at the end of the day, if you really wanted them guys, look, Joshua got out there and fought. Teofimo and Loma, they got out there and fought. Spence got out there and fought. Manny didn't fight all last year. If you really wanted them, it's like I'm not believing it. We'll see. I'm not trying to be a harsh critic, but I'm like, come on, man. A lot of people got out there and fought last year. Not everybody, but a lot of people got out there and fought last year. So got more than one. Damn, Killer Bees is gone. Ask her about her fight with Zoria from Umar Boxing in Baltimore. Killer Bees has Upton Gym. Oh yeah, man, it was quick, because Mia has a professional record of 1-0. She's like really for real in the beginning. She only has a professional record of 1-0. So we covered most of the main topics that you would ask a prospect. I wish you would have got here faster, Troy. He's trying to do all-female card, but the girls are pulling out because Salita is forcing them to sign. What? Stop lying. Really? I just saw the news. Wait. I'm trying to read what Joe Lazizi said. So he trying to strong arm those girls to sign to him. Even his mandatories don't want to smoke. Wait, who you talking about, Blue Sky? And then they said, yeah, that's see, it's you know what the thing is, Blue Sky. I'm not hard on Devin, right? The way a lot of other channels are, because a lot of other channels, they do that because they like a fighter more than him. Whereas what I'm looking at is, look, it's not his fault that he ended up getting that. It's not. They could try to paint whatever narrative they want. It's not his fault. He was the mandatory. Top-ranked petition for Lomachenko to be a French fry champion. That's literally what happened. That's not my opinion. That's not me adding stuff to it. That's literally what happened. So if he didn't get to fight Loma for the belt, it's because Top Rank didn't want him to fight Loma for the belt. I already know why, and I've said this many times. This is not about him being scared of him. It ain't one of those. It's that Bob didn't want to get into a purse bid with Matchroom. He didn't want to get into a purse bid with Matchroom because if they get outbid, Lomachenko then has to fight on the zone, and he don't want that. That's what it's always been about. But everybody, that's boxing fans. Boxing fans like to act stupid. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to look at that too. I'm gonna have to look at that too. Ultimately, I just think what needs to happen for Devin is more than anything else, more than tweets, more than this, more than that. He just needs to get out there and fight. Get out there with Jorge Linares or get out there with Javier Fortuna. He just needs to get out there and perform because that's how boxing is. Boxing is a sport of short memories. If he gets out there with Javier, for example, and he has a really good fight, everybody going to forget about all that other stuff. They're going to forget about all of that. So what needs to happen is he just needs to get out there and fight. That's it. As soon as he has a fight and he has a good performance, all that extra stuff that everybody been talking about, oh, he ain't fought nobody, this, that, and the other, they're going to forget about that stuff. No one ever asks this. I'm peachy. My eyesight is bad. I thought this jacket was made of corduroy. Yeah, Linares Haney is a good fight. Linares Fortuna is a good fight. Like everybody's putting it on as if, and it's like this is what I mean when I say that boxing fans don't have no common sense. Y'all know damn good and well that Davis fight wasn't gonna be next. Just like y'all know damn good and well Lopez versus Haney, that ain't gonna be next. Or Haney versus Garcia, or Garcia versus Lopez, or look like none of that is next. None of that. So it's like, what? Why would I get mad that Garcia versus Tank ain't next? Bro, I never thought it was gonna be next. I never before that Pacquiao stuff started. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. But Benavidez is running out of. I'm kind of out of patience with David Benavidez because it's like, bro, you could have been had a relevant fight by now. Like you could have though. You could have. If Anthony Joshua can get out there, who makes more money than you, right? He's a bigger machine than you. If Joshua could get out there, if Spence could get out there, if Loma could get out there, if all these names that are bigger than yours can get out there and have a fight, a mildly relevant fight, it's not a lot of reason that you shouldn't have fought Caleb Plant. And I'm not gonna keep like nah for what? Like it's true. Like y'all not superstars. Y'all not superstars. So y'all should have been fought. Because if you would have fought him when you still had the belt, it would have been a unification match, and the winner would have had two belts. Two belts. That means Canelo would probably have to come see you in that situation. But what you do, you fight Romarin. All right, you won't fight Romarin Gulo. As soon, yep, not even. Wait, let me see. As soon as people start giving 135-pound attention, yeah, pretty much. That's the story of any glamour division. That's the story of any glamour weight. Which is why I've been saying it. Like I hate when people tell me that the welterweight division is stacked as if everybody's fighting everybody. No, everybody's not fighting everybody. The guys on one side are fighting each other, and none of them are fighting a particular guy. That's what's going on at 147. At 135, you got a lot of young guys that got high ceilings, but they ain't about to fight. None of them fights is about to happen. I'd be surprised if Devin Haney could get Lopez or Garcia or Davis, any one of them, in the ring. I'd be surprised if we see a fight like that because what I think is going to happen this year, if nothing else, I think Lopez is going to fight Kambosos, and then after that, he probably going to have a Vasyl Lomachenko rematch. I don't see none of them other fights happening. I don't see none of them other fights. I don't see him fighting Devin Haney this year. I don't. Devin, the most I think Devin could do for the whole of 2021, yo, have a Javier Fortuna fight. Have a Jorge Linares fight. You know, if you can't get Ryan, fight them. American boxers all just want to fight popular Brits or popular Mexicans. Never. Ooh, that's a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. All right. All right. Low key, that's true though. I mean, yeah. A rematch on pay-per-view. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's to me, if you want to know what I think is gonna happen, that's what I think is gonna happen. This year, he's gonna fight George Kambosos. Maybe he goes to Australia. Maybe he don't. He fights that guy, and then after that, or in that time frame, Vasyl Lomachenko will probably have a tune-up fight, a gimme fight against somebody or whatever. He'll have a good showing. If he has a good showing, then they'll do the rematch. I don't see Bob making that Devin Haney fight. I don't see Golden Boy putting Ryan in there with Teofimo. I don't see none of that happening yet. That's sad if he did that, bro. That's sad. That was a good fight, man. That's sad. That was a good fight, man. Lopez's father had 4 or 5 fights in his mind for the future. It's true. They either want to fight AJ, Katie Taylor. Wait, let me highlight this. Joe Lazizi says it's true. They either want to fight AJ, Katie Taylor, Canelo, Fury, etc. Never each other. Only popular Brits or Mexicans. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. He's not lying though. I mean, he's not. Think about it. The reason that AJ, for example, was able to get to where he got to was because he fought his domestic rival. His domestic rival was Dillian White. That's a part of that process. They were both unbeaten fighters. You think about Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois, it's the same thing. They was unbeaten. Joe had to go through Daniel to get to that next place. And now he's in that place because he about to get a Usyk fight. You see what I mean? Whereas what's happening here in the States is the guys that show promise and show that they have a future, they tend to keep them away from each other. They don't let them fight. They keep them away from each other. And the funniest thing is the examples are right in front of them. After Dillian White lost to Anthony Joshua, was his career over? No. He fought in a couple of big fights after that. His career wasn't over just because he lost that fight. His career, he went on from that. He had other fights. Boxing has been a popularity contest for a while, but sports are always entertainment first. I agree with you, Joe. It's just that the other sports, they don't stop being sports. Baseball don't stop being baseball. Football don't stop being football. Basketball don't stop being basketball. The competitive element in boxing is oftentimes removed for the sake of entertainment or popularity. And that's a perversion of it, because then it's like, oh, if it ain't the best fighters fighting the best fighters, why you expect me to pay to see it? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking to pay for. The best fighters versus the best fighters. If you ain't going to make that, then the viewership is going to dwindle. Now, once again, you'll notice boxing has declined in the States, but it's picked up in the UK. And you'll notice that in the UK, they'll have 2 prospects that both have a future, and they'll let them fight. Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard didn't need to be in that fight. Lyndon Arthur, like, really, they could have put Lyndon Arthur with a couple of more domestic level guys, but that's not what they decided to do. They decided, let them fight. And look what happens. Now Lyndon Arthur has crossed over to the next plane where he gets to do other things with bigger names and bigger fighters. And you know, yeah, Anthony got to pick up the pieces, but his career ain't over. It ain't over. Joe Joyce needs to end some other prospects' careers before the Usyk fight. For easy money, he should fight F.A. Ajagba. That's a doable fight because F.A. is with Top Rank. because we don't have organized annual competition like other sports. That's why most everyone is desperate for a new season of the World Boxing Super Series. And that's why everyone remembers the tournament format works very well for boxing. That tournament format, it works very well because it gives you a succession of fights, and you know that ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, it is the best versus the best guys that are competing in this tournament. In my opinion, fighters are scared of losing. Losing means less money, less popularity, less of a brand. 2021, people want to build their brands. I don't disagree with you, alone 2307, but look at Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora got way more losses than some of these guys, but he been making buku dollars. He made buku dollars with the 2 Dillian White fights, the David Price fight, the what else? The Usyk fight. Yo, he got more money than Usyk for that fight. He got paid more money than Usyk for that fight. American versus American makes business sense too. Spence Crawford, Jamal Andre. I don't disagree with that, Waze. I don't disagree with that. But you know what I mean? To Joe Lazizi's point that do you notice that what most fighters here are doing is calling out popular fighters from other countries? Now that I think about it, he's kind of right. Look, Plant and Benavidez should have fought, man. But they both want to call out Canelo. Like, yo, y'all should fight each other. America treats boxing more like a business than anywhere else, probably because there's more money there, but I don't know. That is a very good point, Vajan. Super Bowls and finals are guaranteed football, basketball, but undisputed is not guaranteed, nor unifications. Yeah, of course. Of course. All of those different, I should say, apexes in other sports are what the sport builds towards in a season. In boxing, it's not necessarily like that. You might get a unification this year, you might not. It's different. And I don't think that that's conducive towards the sport. So basically, there is a promoter vacuum. Time for a successful promoter to step onto the scene, one that can make big fights. You know what the other thing about it is, though? Do the fighters want big fights? Do they want them? Are they willing to make sacrifices to get them? Because I noticed that, unlike before, there's a lot of guys out there that ain't really willing to make the sacrifices to be in a big fight. Jordan Plant is so mighty. You better stop talking about that man's wife. Does Miani have a big Chinese demo? Zangver? Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't you think Fury gets away with a lot of BS while AJ is over? Yeah, I agree 100% with that, Jesse. I do think he gets away with a lot. I do. Everybody's regaling over what are 2 victories, just 2, Vladimir Wilder. But in between, he gets to take lighter touches that AJ don't get to take. Imagine what people would say if it was AJ versus Sefa Safari, AJ versus Francesco Pianetta. They would never let him fight somebody like that. They would never let him fight somebody like that. Imagine if it was AJ versus Tom Schwartz. They would never let him fight somebody like that. When they brought up Agit Kabayel, I've seen Agit Kabayel. He's a good fighter, right? But if that was AJ that was rumored to be fighting Agit Kabayel, bro, they'll crucify him for it. They'll crucify him. Like, why you look, he picking a cherry. Like, Fury, he don't get none of that. Like, yo, you get to take breaks that he don't get to take. Who is MXBX? I don't know who that person is. Same stable fight got made, but when it comes to Haney, Teofimo, ooh, that's a hot take. That's a hot take. I mean, it's a valid point, but I heard a point raised that the reason, I think it was D Jefferson that made this point. I believe it was D that said the reason that Teofimo wanted 10 million for Devin is because of the money that he stands to make in Australia. Now, I don't know how true that is because we see what's going on. Is the fight going to be in Australia? Now we don't know. So I don't know for sure that that's the reason. But I remember hearing D say that. It's just that in hindsight, all right, are you about to go to Australia? Nah, you ain't about to go to Australia, right? So why you need $10 million for Devin Haney? I don't know. I don't even know who that is. It be people that be knowing who I am that I don't know who they are. Like they want attention. Like they daddy didn't hug them or some weird shit. Like I don't know. The fact that somebody would get up out of their bed and behave that way on the internet is mind-boggling to me. That already tells me what walk of life you come from. That this is how you decide to use your time. Lest we forget, whether you're aware of it or not, as we speak, I'm making money at least. What are you doing? Australia is back to normal, so they have crowds, but 10 million? Well, if he fights George Kambosos down there, but yeah, if the crowds is back and everything is everything, yeah, he could make $10 million down there. He could. He could. I don't know. I don't know if that's El Jefe. I don't know. Like I said, the stuff that people do on the internet, when I see somebody like that, right, I already know that, like, yo, in all likelihood, that person is probably like a social reject or a loser. Like, because I can't get out of bed and do that. Like, no, bro. Why would I get out of bed to be playing around on? Why would I be doing that? Like, why would I do that? No one knows who George is. Oh, you saying they don't know George Kambosos in Australia? I mean, I don't know. I would have to ask like Ebony Bridges or somebody. I would have to ask somebody that's actually over there. Hey, does George Kambosos have any marquee value down there? Because I wouldn't know. He said 10 million, but maybe T.O. would take 5 million. I don't know, but that's what the story is. That the reason that Teofimo father asked for 10 million for Devin Haney is because of the money they already stand to make because of George Kambosos in Australia. That's what the story is. But like I said, I don't know. That's something I didn't hear someone on that side say that. I heard D Jefferson say that. So, and it could be a valid argument. Yeah, I don't understand who is MXB. Like, I don't even know who that is. Like, who are you, bro? Like, who is this? Like, where do you think Maiva slap? Yo, people are sick, man. Like he don't think that he's a sick person for coming on here and behaving like that. But I'm looking at like, yeah, you a sick person, bro. I'm gonna go put you in the corner, put you in timeout. My top 5 current fighters are Canelo Alvarez, Chocolatito, Terrence Crawford, Naoya Inoue, Kazuto Ioka. And if you don't know who any of those fighters are, or some of them, look them up. Maybe I'll have her back here for an interview. Maybe I'll have her back here for an interview to see what's popping with her. As far as I know, she's still in rehabilitation for the leg, so I'm pretty sure that's what she's dealing with. The fact that these young guys avoid each other, yeah, you know it didn't happen in the 80s and the 90s, Russ. It's because everybody thinks they're a star already. How much did Manny get versus Horn? An Aussie Olympian versus Manny and Australia has a huge Filipino. Well, my understanding is that Manny gets a minimum of $20 million a fight. That's my understanding. Boxing needs, and are you telling me, Lou? Pay-per-view for Poirier. Wow. Those ain't good numbers for them. It was 499,000, Bogey. Wow. Nah, Anthony Mundine is still the #1 boxer. That dude's still getting fights, and he pushing 50. That dude about to fight Michael Zarafa. He's still getting fights. Oh, it was 1.2 million. There was some ducking in past eras of boxing, but not. Yeah, like exactly, Antonio. Like it was always it always happened, but on what scale? To what degree did it happen? I think it's unfair to say Australians don't know Kambosos. He doesn't have the instant name brand recognition like Tim Tszyu, of course, but he's well known among. Yeah, because I can't answer that question. I don't know how known or known he is. I just know that the plan was to have Teofimo go down there and fight George down there because they figure it's a lot of money down there. That's what the plan is. As far as his marquee value down there, I don't know what it is. Are you aware of the little Somalian girl from New York? She's a nice puncher. She's 4-0 with 3 KOs. Samoan girl. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. She moves like Mike Tyson. I know exactly who you're talking about. And he has the built-in support of the Greek community, which is numerous in Australia. Kambosos is a very solid fighter. Yeah, I like the fight. I got nothing against the fight. They already did, Jesse. They already did. I'm gonna talk about that in a video I got coming up. They already did. They already did. They already made that decision. I believe that Jared Hurd might end up signing the Top Rank. 1, because of the inactivity. He's been away from the ring for a really long time. 2, if you follow his Instagram post, look at whose gym he's training out of. Take a guess. Go to his Instagram page and look at whose gym he's training out of. In one of his last posts. Not yet, not yet. I might actually do that. But we'll see. I'm not a traditionally, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't like traditionally trained or something to be like, I don't know what the hell they would have me doing over there. Go look at it, Brandon. And if once you get there and you see where he's training out of, you'll see why I jumped to that conclusion. Thought I watched a video earlier of T.O.'s dad asking Eddie for $7 million, and he gave word. What do you think Canelo will do once he cleans up 168? I believe that Canelo is on the verge of retiring. I believe that once he unifies that division, if he unifies it, he'll retire. Everybody's looking at his age, and you're not thinking that this is a guy who's been fighting as a professional boxer since he was 15 years old. The majority of his life has been spent in professional boxing. Well, not the majority of it, because he's like 30. I think he's 30. So roughly 15 years, half his life, at least we could say, half his life has been spent in the sport of boxing. He's made millions upon millions of dollars. Unless another super fight, unless somebody makes themselves like builds themselves up to where he can have another super fight, I think this guy's on the verge of retiring. Soon, yeah, soon, Lou. Not soon like tomorrow, not soon like this year, but maybe 2 years. While if he unifies 168, understand, if he unifies 168, He's literally making history. Literally. History for boxing and history for Mexico and history for himself. If he unifies the division, right? If he get all them belts, the question after that is, all right, what else is there for me to do? What else is there for me to do? And short of a big cash fight, like a Golovkin fight, why would he stick around? For what, to do what? I'm glad you said that, I'm glad you said that because I agree with you. I agree with you. And I'm gonna talk about that. I don't want to get into it here, but I'm gonna talk about that. Any news on Vivi? Yo, I've been waiting to hear something new about that, but I don't know nobody in Switzerland. I heard Canelo says he sees himself going longer than first planned. We'll see, bro. But when I see him, I see a guy who in maybe 2 years retires. Maybe 2 years. Somebody has to, like I said, if somebody can make themselves an incentive, if somebody can make themselves a star to where another super fight could roll around, then I could see Canelo staying. But right now, look at what's going on. What's going on? Can Warrington still book a fight with Consul? Yeah, he can still book a fight with Consul. It won't be for a major title, though. All right, look, I'm going to end this live, and I'm going to get working on the next episode of The Relay.